All right, well, thank you all. Y'all give it up one more time for the Litch Brothers. They are on tour just like we are. I saw them carrying a big old heavy suitcase full of t-shirts. Help them lighten their load, okay? We got shit too. Because, yeah. Well, we got some records over there. This song is on one of those records. This is on our self-titled album. We called it that because we were like, we're done. It's our songwriting album. And so this was a song that I wrote about my papaw. It's a song that I wanted to write for a long time, didn't know how to do it until I kind of actually put some brain power into it, and I did it. My papaw's name was Cliff Riffle. He was 5 feet of TNT. And he was born and raised in West Virginia. He was orphaned at a very young age. He had a bunch of siblings, and they all got split off to go live with whoever would take them, right? This was during the Great Depression, so times was tough. Nobody wanted extra kids on their hands. My papa got sent to go live with his aunt, who was the meanest woman to ever draw a breath. His words, not mine. I never knew her, okay? So after a while, he got sick of that and he ran away from the aunt's house. He didn't want to be there no more, so he ran away. And he walked to a boys' home in West Virginia that was run by Catholic nuns. And he had never met a Catholic nun, his little hillbilly self. And he didn't like them either. So he took to walking again and walked into town. And at the age of 15, he lied about his age, and he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. And he became a U.S. naval pilot. And by 17, he was flying fighter jets in World War II. Papa was badass, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. And I didn't know it when I was a kid. I was the only granddaughter, so I didn't get all this information. But he was shot down in battle over the Pacific Ocean and had a crash landing in the Pacific Ocean. It killed his gunner, but he survived. And he floated in the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean, for 4 days and 4 nights before he was rescued. Ain't that crazy? I mean, I've never... fuck that. I was going to make a joke about it, but it's wild to think about. But he was rescued. He did get rescued. He said they nearly killed me trying to save me. So he was full of shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, he was full of shit, but he had all these little quips and sayings. He was very, very funny. And my family owned and operated a beer store on the county line, because at the time we still had dry and wet counties, and we still do. But we were those people. We were the first beer store you came to, right? And this was like, my papa was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. People are going to come in here and want to talk, and I'm their guy. And so every day of my life, people would come into the store, and they would say, "Hey, Cliff, how you doing?" Everybody knew him, and he would say, "Better than I deserve, better than I deserve, better than I deserve." He would say it 1,000,000 times a day. And I didn't realize kind of the gravity of it, but it was kind of like a mantra to him, you know. Shit was rough, you know. He thought that he deserved what he got, you know. But so once I thought about it, I was like, well, he wrote the song for me, right? So this is for my papa, Cliff Riffle. Thank you all so very much for being here tonight. All of you. Thank you, Colin, for running sound. Y'all give Colin a hand. He's been doing a hard job all night. Thank you to the staff running everything. Thank you again to the Litch Brothers. Loved y'all so much. Thank you. Good luck on your tour. And this is better than I deserve. 1, 2.